Woodstock, an iconic music festival that's taken place over the years featuring the biggest tastemakers of the current day. Unfortunately, things haven't always been easy at Woodstock and at times outright chaotic and downright scary. This year, they were looking to celebrate their 50th anniversary, and while they had already announced an entire lineup, fans were generally unimpressed and there wasn't much buzz surrounding the event. When the on-sale date for tickets were subsequently delayed, there were rumblings that the event could be canceled. Today we got the word that the event will not be taking place after there were some who were concerned that this could turn out to be a Fyre Festival 2.0. And before we get into the specific reasons why the event was canceled, we want to take a look back at some of the biggest fumbles in the history of Woodstock. Woodstock was originally intended to be a place for music, love, and peace, but in the late 90s, Woodstock got a bad reputation after essentially most of the festival grounds erupted into riots. Woodstock 99 was a city of its own, and at the time of the event, it was the third most populated area in the state of New York. With a massive 220,000 in attendance and an additional 10,000 staff, it should come as no surprise that things got out of control quickly when there was a shortage in water supply. The festival was selling water at an astronomically high $4 per bottle. There were even some reports that claimed those prices got all the way up to $10. There were lines for some free fountains, but people had to wait hours just to get some high-quality H2O. In all actuality, if you think that Fyre Festival was bad, take a look at the actual Fyre Festival. Yes, real fire at Woodstock 1999, where they essentially burned the festival to the ground and rioted at the end of it. Here's footage of the aftermath of Woodstock 99 to give you an idea. And no, for those wondering, Woodstock 69 wasn't better either. To put it simply, food and water quickly ran out. There were over 5,000 medical incidents reported, and things got so bad that the army, yes, the military, had to airlift in supplies. Unfortunately, 2 people also lost their lives, one being due to an overdose, and the other person was actually ran over by a tractor somehow. Woodstock 99 was the 30th anniversary of the festival, and of course this year was scheduled to be the 50th anniversary. But despite some great and in fact legendary performances that have taken place there, it doesn't seem like a great place for people to be in the crowd. It doesn't seem comfortable, it seems miserable in fact. People had to walk 1.5 miles across heated up asphalt because it was taking place at a former military base to get to the different stages. There were over 700 people who were treated for heat exhaustion and dehydration. But unfortunately, it wasn't just a lack of resources that led to massive problems at the festival. There were also multiple reports of women who were attacked, sometimes openly in the midst of a mosh pit. Here's a report from shortly after the festival in 1999 in which a police captain was quoted as saying they were investigating multiple violent attacks against women. He says, 3 were in the campground area, another was in front of the stage while Limp Bizkit was playing. Wood says the woman from Pittsburgh had been body surfing, hoisted into the air, and passed around above the crowd and fell into the mosh pit. Due to constraints in technology, it was also difficult to validate whether or not passes were real, as there were an abundance of fake passes being distributed. According to a report from the Syracuse Post-Standard, quote, security guards said they were confiscating fake passes at the rate of 50 an hour at just one gate. There were also reports of people rushing the gate, so much so that security guards were overwhelmed and unable to stop it. As the sun set on the final night of Woodstock 99, things took a dramatic turn for the worst. The Red Hot Chili Peppers took the East Stage on the final night of the event. During the set, a well-intentioned group promoting peace began distributing candles to the crowd for a demonstration during the band's performance of Under the Bridge. Concertgoers with nefarious intentions would begin stealing festival equipment and starting bonfires. They would also set a large audio tower ablaze. The night would evolve into chaos, with event security and law enforcement struggling to gain control of the situation. Artists, management, and their personal security details would struggle to get the musicians off-site. Unfortunately, and unintentionally, the Red Hot Chili Peppers would perform a Jimi Hendrix tribute song, which would only serve as an inappropriate soundtrack to what was happening in the crowd. The title of that song was ironically, Fire. As the festival grounds were destroyed and the fires began to burn out of control, the media turned their attention from the entertainment taking place on stage to the chaos and danger in the crowd. Thankfully, police were eventually able to get the situation under control. In the aftermath of the festival, you can see the damage and destruction caused by those who were taking place in the riots that night. At a press conference the following week, following the hysteria that took place at Woodstock, promoter John Schur said, "I'm bummed big time. I don't know if we'll ever know why these kids did this. I really don't think there was a kid out there that wanted there to be mass destruction. I would not condemn this crowd. I don't think it was an anti-Woodstock statement. I think it was an anti-establishment statement." Promoter Michael Lang later told Billboard in 2009, "I think the aftermath of 99, the imagery of kids sort of dancing around the fire, was more dramatic than the actual event. The problem with 99 sort of erupted after the last act went off stage, and it was really a couple of hundred kids who were running rampant. I think that it has its ramifications, but I don't think it did any real damage in that sense." After the festival was over, Limp Bizkit frontman Fred Durst took criticism for performing the song Break Stuff, which some would claim would encourage those in the crowd to cause chaos. Durst later commented on the chaos that took place during his band's set at Woodstock. "I couldn't believe it," he said. "I just wanted to go back out there and I wanted to say something to tell them to calm down, and they wouldn't let me. They gave people peace candles the next day, and they used them to burn the place down, and they blamed that on us too. Kurt Loder was on TV talking shit about us, and we couldn't believe it." So while there have been many other disastrous festivals over the years, they've paled in comparison to the outright chaos that took place during Woodstock. While Fyre Festival lacked resources and the crowd was definitely uneasy about being there, it's hard to compare to the shocking images of what went on at Woodstock 99. Now, in a report released earlier today, financiers behind Woodstock's 50th anniversary festival have announced that the event will not be taking place. The show was expected to take place between August 16th and 18th in Watkins Glen, New York, featuring performances by Jay-Z, Chance the Rapper, Miley Cyrus, and many more. Billboard published a statement from Amplify Live that said, "Despite our tremendous investment of time, effort, and commitment, we don't believe the production of the festival can be executed as an event worthy of the Woodstock brand name, while also ensuring the health and safety of the artists, partners, and attendees. As a result, and after careful consideration, Dentsu Aegis Network's Amplify Live, a partner of Woodstock 50, has decided to cancel the festival. As difficult as it is, we believe this is the most prudent decision for all parties involved. While it's definitely disappointing that Woodstock 50 will not be taking place, it seems as though Woodstock promoters have learned from the difficulties they faced in the past and are now, more than ever, concerned about history repeating itself." That's all for now. Thanks so much for joining us here today on Rockfeed. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking hard rock and heavy metal news. You can also check out these recommended videos. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll see you all very soon.